Hi everyone, my name is Cassie and welcome to my channel, Bookish 4 Eyes. Today I'm doing a tag video for the first time in a pretty long time, so I'm very excited about it. This one is called Last 10 Book Tags, and I was tagged by Jasmine from Jasmine's Reads. And if you haven't been to Jasmine's channel before, you have to check it out because she has the best book recommendations. She reads adult books and she reads a lot of classics, and she just has honestly the best recommendations. I always find so many great books after watching her videos, so please visit her channel because I promise you will love it as much as I do. This video was created by Mark, and I will link both of their channels down below so you can check them out. Without further ado, let's get right to it. Question number 1 is the last book you didn't finish. I always try to finish books as much as I can, and I think because I read rather quickly, I tend to get pretty far in before I decide whether I want to finish or not. I haven't not finished a book in a long time, but the one that actually just happened recently is called Gather the Daughters, and basically this was kind of a dystopian book about a society where men were in charge. Nothing new there, and they were hiding a bunch of stuff from this colony that they kind of created on this island or something of that sort, and they were doing something very shady there. I don't know, I've been reading a lot of different types of books, but for some reason I just wasn't feeling a dystopian novel. So I was maybe like 20 or 30 pages in and I just thought, I'm not feeling this, so I didn't finish it. The next question is the last book that you reread, and I haven't been rereading a lot of books just because there's so many new books that I'm constantly adding to my TBR and trying to get through, so I don't normally reread a lot of books. But from what I remember, a couple of years ago I reread The Hobbit, and I really liked it. It's a short book and it was a very quick read, but it's such a fun adventure that I was glad that I got to read it again. Question number 3 is the last book you bought, and the last book I bought is called Miss Burma. This is on the National Book Award long list, so I thought this is probably a good read. I'm not like 100% sure what's going on here. I just noticed about a family and they're in Burma, and it kind of tells their story throughout a long period of time. It has like some World War II in there and other turmoil and things like that. So I've been really loving family stories that span through like generations and generations lately, so I'm feeling this one. I think it'll be a great read. Question number 4, the last book that you said you read but you didn't. I don't know that I've ever said that I read a book that I didn't read. Nothing really comes to mind just because now whenever I want to read something I read it, but unfortunately I can't think of one. Question number 5, the last book that you wrote in the margins of. And I'm not a big writing in the margins kind of person. It was probably back in university, writing in a textbook. I don't know that I've ever actually like written in a book that I was reading, like a novel type thing, so I'm afraid I haven't done that. Question number 6, the last book you signed. This is kind of in the same vein as the writing in the margins. I've gifted books to people. I just never really thought to write anything in it just because, I don't know, what if they hate it and they want to gift it to someone else? I don't want to make them have to stick with that book forever. Question number 7, the last book you lost. I don't know if it's lost entirely, but I haven't come across it in a while, and the book is 1,000 Splendid Suns, which is a great book and I've read it before, so I'm not that sad that I don't have it anymore because I've read it, but it would have been nice to have it still. Question number 8, the last book you had to replace. I don't know that this is exactly right for this question, but it's not that I had to replace it, but I had borrowed Anna Karenina from my mom and I gave it back to her, but I haven't read the book, so I had to replace it with a copy of my own, so I picked it up. I have this nice Russian copy of it that I'm hopefully will get around to reading soon. We'll see. Question number 9, the last book that you had an argument over. And these days I don't feel like I argue with people over their book opinions. Like, nothing really hurts my feelings as far as people not liking the books that I enjoy, and I feel like I try not to Not to start any arguments about other people's reading preferences, but the one time that I did have a disagreement with one of my friends was back, I think it was probably in like 5th grade, and this was when Harry Potter was like all the rage, and The Lord of the Rings was also kind of popular, and my friend, who was very, very smart, obviously, read Lord of the Rings and loved it, and she refused to read Harry Potter books because she thought they were inferior, and I read the Harry Potter books and I loved them, and I could not read Lord of the Rings because at that point in my life it just made no sense to me. So we always kept disagreeing about which series were better, and I don't know that we've ever come to a come to a conclusion with that, but I don't know, maybe since then she's read those books. I can tell you this much, I still haven't read Lord of the Rings, so that's definitely something that I'm looking to forward to doing sometime in the future. Question number 10, the last book you couldn't get a hold of. Usually this happens if I'm trying to borrow an ebook from the library and they don't have it. And this was the case with Pet Sematary by Stephen King. For some reason my library doesn't seem to have a lot of his books in a Kindle format. So I really wanted to read this book and I thought, alright, I'm just gonna have to buy it because I'll never read it otherwise. So I ended up getting it and reading it and enjoying it. So there you have it. Now I have to tag some people to do this video, and I feel like whenever I do a tag video, I'm like always really shy and afraid of tagging people just because I don't know why. It's just this irrational fear that I have. But I figured that, you know, I've been around booktube long enough and I know that people are nice and they don't mind if they get tagged. So here we go. I've decided to tag 3 people. The first is Lindsey from Lindsey's Little Library. The second is Rachel from The Shades of Orange, and the third is Vicky from Chapter 32. So if this sounds like something you'd be into, definitely do this tag video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.